So let's talk about something that can totally transform your communication. We're going to look at just 4 key words that do more than just connect your ideas. They actually signal clear, structured thinking. And trust me, they'll help you sound way more fluent and confident.
Let me ask you this. You ever have a really fantastic point to make, but when you say it out loud, the ideas just don't quite link up? It can feel a little, choppy, right? And your great idea kind of loses its punch. It's a super common challenge.
Well, the good news is we are absolutely going to fix that. Right here, right now. And the solution? It's surprisingly simple, but it's going to make a huge difference in how professional and clear you sound.
Okay, so the secret weapon here is something called connectors. Seriously, these are like the secret ingredient for sounding fluent and professional. They're the bridge that connects one great idea to the next.
So, what is a connector, really? Well, think of it like glue for your sentences. It's a word or a phrase that links your ideas together, creating this really logical, kind of sophisticated flow. It tells your listener exactly how one thought relates to the next one.
And getting these words down is absolutely crucial. It's what makes your communication feel smooth, structured, and, instantly more professional. It's such a small change, but it has this massive impact on how people perceive you, because it shows you've really organized your thoughts.
All right, let's dive into our first tool. This is the one you use when you want to add more information, to build on a point you've already made and just make it that much stronger. And our word for the job? Moreover.
Yeah, that's the word moreover. It just sounds smart, doesn't it? It's a fantastic way to level up from just saying also or and all the time.
So its job is to add a new, related piece of information that backs up the point you just made. Kind of like you're saying, and hey, if you weren't convinced yet, here's another reason why.
For example, you could say, the research was thorough. Okay, that's a good, strong statement. But when you add, moreover, its conclusions were groundbreaking, whoa, that just takes it to a whole other level. It adds weight and connects those two ideas beautifully.
Okay, so what if you don't want to add a supporting point? What if you need to introduce an idea that's kind of the opposite? For that, we've got one of the most useful words in the entire English language.
And that word is however. Now, this is probably one you've used before, but really mastering its placement can make you sound so much clearer. You use however to signal a pivot. It's like a little flag you raise to tell your audience, okay, hang on. What I'm about to say now is going to contrast with what I just said. It creates this really nice balance in your arguments. Think about this. The team worked hard. That's the positive part. Then comes the pivot. However, they missed the deadline. See? That word, however, bridges those two conflicting ideas much more powerfully than just saying but.
All right, for our last section, we're going to look at 2 tools that are really closely related. They're both used to talk about results or outcomes. Let's meet therefore and consequently.
Let's start with therefore. This is a super powerful word that sets up a really clear cause and effect relationship.
You use it when one thing is a direct result of another. So if A happens, then B is the direct outcome. It's a very logical, straight line kind of connector.
Right here, the connection is crystal clear. The flight delay, that's the cause. And the direct result of that, missing the connection. Therefore links them perfectly. Cause, therefore, effect. Simple, powerful.
Now let's look at its close cousin, consequently. It also deals with results, but there's a really subtle and important difference. You use consequently to show a logical consequence. It's less about a direct one-to-one result and more about the broader outcome of a situation. It really answers the question, okay, as a consequence of this, what happened? So let's just make that difference super clear. Therefore is for that direct result. A leads straight to B. Consequently is for a logical consequence. Because of A, B happened. So let's say a company ignores all its customer feedback. You could say, consequently, their sales declined. See? The decline isn't a direct physical result, but it is the logical consequence of their actions.
So there we have it, our 4 amazing tools. Moreover, however, therefore, and consequently. Now let's just quickly talk about putting them all together to really find your professional voice.
Putting this into practice is just a simple 3-step process. First, just think about the relationship between your ideas. Are you adding something? Are you contrasting? Or are you showing a result? Second, pick the right tool for the job. And third, just deliver your connected thought and listen to how much stronger and more professional it sounds.
It really is that simple. You've got the tools now. It's not about learning hundreds of new vocabulary words, it's about mastering just a few really powerful ones that can completely change how you communicate.
So I'll leave you with this final thought. Now that you have these tools in your toolkit, what powerful idea are you going to connect first?